Hi, welcome back to Virtual Storytime with Miss Becky and Miss Lisa. This story is called A Visitor for Bear, and it's written by a lady named Bonnie Becker. No one ever came to Bear's house. It had always been that way, and Bear was quite sure he didn't like visitors. He even had a sign, "No visitors." One morning, Bear heard a tap, tap, tapping on his front door. When he opened the door, there was a mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. "No visitors allowed," said Bear, pointing to the sign. "Go away." He closed the door and went back to the business of making his breakfast. He set out 1 cup and 1 spoon, but when he opened the cupboard to get 1 bowl, there was the mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. Holy cow, look, he's very surprised, isn't he? Wonder how that mouse got in there. "I told you to leave," cried Bear. "Perhaps we could just have a spot of tea," said the mouse. "Out," commanded the Bear. "Most sorry," said Mouse. "I'll be going now." Bear showed him to the door and shut it firmly. Look, he's holding him by the tail. Then he went back to the business of making his breakfast. But when he opened the bread drawer for 1 slice of bread, there was the mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. Uh-oh. See, he's all the way down there in the bread drawer. That's one sneaky little mouse. "Unbelievable," rumbled the Bear. "Away with you! Vamos!" "I do like a bit of cheese," said the mouse. Bear pointed one rigid claw to the door. "Yes, then, here I go," said Mouse. "Farewell," and the mouse whisked out the door. This time, the Bear shut the door very firmly and locked it tight. He locked the windows, too, for good measure. Just in case the mouse is coming through the windows, I guess. Then once again went back to the business of making breakfast. But when he opened the fridge to get 1 egg, there was the mouse, small and bright-eyed, of course. "Be gone!" roared the Bear. Holy mackerel, he looks mad, doesn't he? "A crackling fire?" ventured Mouse. "This is impossible, intolerable, and insufferable!" cried the Bear, shaking with anger and disbelief. "Terribly sorry," murmured Mouse. "Now you see me, now you don't. I am gone." And the mouse looked very sorry indeed while he waited for Bear to unbolt the door and let him out again. The Bear's pointing, "You get out of here." This time, before he went back to the business of making his breakfast, Bear shut the door very, very firmly and locked it, boarded the windows shut, stopped up the chimney, and even plugged up the drain in the bathtub. Carefully, Bear set about the business of making his breakfast. He opened the cupboard. No mouse. He opened the bread drawer. Nothing. Whew. He opened the fridge. Mouse free. Yes, indeed. And then he lifted the lid to the tea kettle. There was the mouse, small and gray and, well, you know the rest. Bear fell to the floor and wept. "I give up," he blubbered. "You win. I am undone." "So sorry," said Mouse, "but perhaps if I could have just a bit of cheese and a cup of tea, and do you think maybe unstopper the chimney and light a nice fire?" Bear blew his nose with a loud honk. "But then you must go," he sniffled. "No visitors are allowed." "You have my word," said Mouse. Bear unshuttered and unboarded the windows, and unlocked the door, unstoppered the chimney, and unplugged the drain in the bathtub. Look at the mouse is right there next to him, watching him do each thing. He brought out 2 plates of cheese, 2 teacups, and made a crackling fire in the fireplace for 2 sets of toes. Mouse warmed his feet and nibbled and sipped, and Bear did too. They sat for a long while. The clock in Bear's house was ticking very loudly. Bear cleared his throat. Mouse looked most attentive. No one had ever been attentive to Bear. "The fire is nice," Bear announced. "Lovely," said Mouse. No one had ever said Bear's fires were lovely. "I can do a headstand," said Bear. "Very impressive," exclaimed the Mouse. Bear told a joke. The mouse laughed heartily. No one had ever laughed at Bear's jokes before. Bear began to think of another joke. And the mouse set down his teacup. Bear quickly lifted the teapot, said, "There's plenty more." "So sorry," said Mouse, "most kind, but I must be on my way." "Really, you needn't go," said the Bear. "I am off," said the Mouse, springing up from his chair. "But wait," cried Bear. But the Mouse stepped out the door. "Toodaloo," said the Mouse. "Don't go," wailed Bear, throwing his body across the path. "But I gave you my word," said Mouse, pointing at the no visitors sign. See, there it is, right there. "Oh, that!" cried Bear, pulling down the sign and tearing it up. "That's for salesmen, not for friends." "Not friends?" asked Mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. Bear nodded. The Mouse's bright eyes glowed brighter, and Bear smiled. "Do you like 1 lump or 2?" said Bear most politely. "I like 2," said Mouse, and Bear agreed. So Bear made a friend, and he's got a visitor. I like that. A visitor for Bear. This is a really good one. Thanks for joining us.